Look, here's the harsh reality. Not everybody's meant to be a business coach, and actually, not everybody's cut out to be a business coach. In fact, a lot of people shouldn't be coaches of any sort. But if you're here and you're investigating whether or not business coaching is the path for you, or maybe you're an existing coach who's looking to level up, then you've probably resigned yourself to the fact that most business coaches over time fall into one of two buckets, right? The first bucket being the coach who is stalling or has stalled, and unfortunately, the second coach who is failing or has failed. And we're going to talk about some of the reasons why I think that is and what Business Coach Launchpad has been designed to prevent. But before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about why we're here in the first place. You see, in 2010, I went into business for myself like a lot of us, and I wanted to create the greatest experience I could with my customers and my clients. And in doing so, I overextended myself in a lot of ways, and in particular, giving away free advice. And not because I was trying to be fancy or anything like that, just because I had a heart to serve. But what I wasn't recognizing was that in that heart to serve, I was also creating cash flow issues inside of my own business, which then had the trickle-down effect of creating cash flow issues at home. And it wasn't until I had an accidental epiphany moment where, again, giving away free advice to a client, and I said to them jokingly, that'll be $500. And he, not jokingly, said to me, sure, can you invoice me? And in that moment right there, I recognized my cash flow issues could be resolved if I started charging for my advice, business coaching. And it was completely by accident. But I realized right then and there that not only did people want my advice, they sought it, but they also wanted to pay me for it, if only I had asked. And so Business Coach Launchpad was created. But it wasn't enough to do this on a whim. I went to work and I started to hire business coaches, and I started to study them and to dissect them. And I started to figure out what I felt was strong and what worked. And I started to remove elements that I thought were not working, not moving the needle, or what made me feel like I was renting a friend. And then not only that, but I had to understand business a little better. And so I started to study the most profitable businesses in the world. And in doing so, I started to reverse engineer the profit levers that they were pulling that turned more of their revenue into profits. You see, I had this theory that you could become more profitable without having to spend more money on advertising or hiring salespeople, but by turning more of your existing revenue into profits if you were smartly pulling on these profit levers. And so I created frameworks and systems which have now become the core tenets of Business Coach Launchpad. So now I want to talk to you about 3 of the reasons why I feel like people don't get started in the first place or struggle while they're moving forward. The first thing I want to talk to you about is the freedom framework or the franchise framework. Those of you who are investigating or are business coaches have probably come across the franchise model. And there's nothing wrong with the franchise model outside of these few things that I've identified and created remedies for. The first one, it's hard to know if business coaching is the path you want to go down when there's an albatross of a $50,000 to $75,000 franchise fee just to start the conversation, right? So we've removed that franchise fee. We have no franchise fees in Business Coach Launchpad. We also recognize that it is painful to cut a 10 to 20% revenue share check to the franchise for the coaching that we fulfilled on. So we don't do that either. We've removed any type of revenue share inside of our freedom model. We also recognize that having mandatory marketing fees to the tune of $1,500 to $2,500 a month was prohibiting business coaches from growing or getting started again. And then there's the whole geography side of things. You plant your franchise here, and then you can only coach here. With Zoom and the advent of online meetings, we thought that was silly as well. And then the most prohibitive, outside of the 50 to 75 grand up front, was usually the 5 to 7 year contract. And we didn't feel that was necessary either, because if our frameworks, our proprietary software, our training, our onboarding, if that wasn't good enough to make you money, then we didn't deserve your money. So we removed all of those. No franchise fees, no revenue share, no mandatory marketing fees, no geography restrictions, and no 5 to 7 year contracts. You'll get more details if you continue reading, and if you qualify to book a clarity call, we'll go through more of the details of what you do get. But suffice it to say, we removed those barriers to entry or barriers to growth. The second thing I want to talk about is what I like to call proving versus guessing, right? Proof versus guesswork. Now, a lot of times business coaches get all of the marketing, all of the branding, all of the books to put on their shelves, but then it's off you go. And so we've created a path to coaching to profits for you. And it's built on the back of our proprietary software that has over 497 weighted algorithmic sequences of data built into the system. And this software not only helps you find profit potential and areas of impact, but it also roadmaps in the most optimized path for you the A to Z steps you need to take to effectively coach your business owner clients through to realizing those profit gains. You are never left guessing what to do next. You have a roadmap built out, optimized to the most efficient and optimal path to get closer to the dollar as quickly as possible. And beyond that, our software is also built out with an AI coach assist feature that is completely and continuously trained on our frameworks and on these profit levers so that it is growing with you. And if you ever did get stuck in real time, you can leverage that coach assist to help you find the right response. So that's bullet point number 2. And third and finally, I want to talk to you about doing this alone and feeling like you're on an island unto yourself. You are not with Business Coach Launchpad. One, we have a robust 4-phase onboarding process that we will walk you through with 2 layers of certifications that you will be able to attain as long as you do the work and commit the hours. But when we put you into the onboarding program, we will assign you an advisor. And that advisor doesn't just stay with you through your onboarding. They will stay with you for life. Beyond that, you will also have myself and my wife, Jessica, walking with you every week, every step of the way, so that you are never alone on your journey to a successful business coaching practice. We also drop in a number of drop-in calls with different agendas, from lead generation to selling with the software to role playing to live event mastery. We have a number of, we call them drop-in calls, available to you every single week. And then most importantly, our return and report call every week for Launchpad members, where we will hold you accountable. We will have hot seats. You will be asked to be accountable for your business. We're not going to babysit. You don't have to show up. It's not mandatory. But those that do show up are going to get a little bit of extra collision that you will be able to leverage as you coach your clients and help them get out of their own excuses and out of their own way. We are going to be dropping our Truth Warrior frameworks into these return and report calls. So you are never on an island unto yourself. You will have full support ongoing for the life of your membership with Business Coach Launchpad. And we've just released and announced this as well for Business Coach Launchpad. We recognize that we wanted you to focus on your onboarding and your training and building your own frameworks, that we didn't want you to worry so much about fulfillment. So right now, we are now also offering our coaches the ability to sell into a group coaching product where we become your fulfillment arm. You sell it, you maintain your relationship as the face of the coaching relationship, and you partner with us, and we fulfill on the strategy calls, and the software itself will provide all the resources and assets, pre-training worksheet, strategy call we will fulfill, post-strategy session work, and then once a week, you will have that to lean people into, but then you will also hold your own return and report call, which we will train you how to do. So effectively, you could be spending an hour or 2 a week while selling your group coaching. And then when you're ready for one-to-one coaching, you've gone through onboarding, you're feeling confident, then you can scale and ascend those group coaching clients into one-to-one engagements. And we have what we call the profit path that our Business Coach Launchpad members will be trained throughout. So those are the 3 things that I think we've built that help business owners from stalling and failing, removing the albatross, providing the tools and resources and the guidance so that you don't have to guess your way through coaching, and then the community and the support mechanisms in place so that you never have to figure it out on your own. And I think those are some pretty slam dunk reasons to join Business Coach Launchpad. But here's the thing, what you don't work won't work. This is you creating a business of your own. You are creating a business coaching practice. I am not taking any of your revenue. There is no gimmick. This is you building a coaching practice. We're just providing you with all the franchise benefits without the franchise headaches. Do you understand that? There's a big difference here. We are not creating some kind of weird mechanism. This is a franchise model without the franchise headaches, but you have to apply. I'm not meant to mentor everybody, and I don't want to mentor everybody. If you're not raising your hand saying, Craig, I want to work with you, then I don't want to work with you either. I don't want to waste your time, and I'm not intended to mentor everybody, and I'm okay with that. So we only invite those people that raise their hand and ask for more information on enrollment. So here's what's going to happen. Down below and multiple times on the page, there are apply now buttons. That will take you to the beginning of a 2-minute application process. If you don't go through that, you don't qualify. And then during the 2-minute application process, there are some qualifying questions. When you hit submit, you will be routed into 3 directions. 1, you will satisfy our requirements for an initial clarity call, and you will be directed to a page where you can book that clarity call. The second path is maybe you're unsure that this is the path for you, and we will route you to a page where you can learn more, and then if you're ready, you can book a clarity call. And the other path is for those that maybe this is just the beginning of your journey and you're not quite ready to invest time, money, or energy into building a business. That's fine. We don't want to restrict your growth and your momentum. So those that don't qualify, we're not going to leave you high and dry. We're going to route you to our free school community where you can continue to build momentum, gain assets, gain relationships and friendships inside of the community, but more importantly, continue to build that momentum towards becoming a business coach. And when you are ready, you can then reapply. So either way, qualified, unsure, or not qualified, you will be able to work with us in some capacity. So there's no reason not to book your clarity call or at least go through the application process. But this is an application and we only take on 2 to 3 new coaches a month because we want to make sure that we sow into you so that you can sow into your business owner clients and we can all create generations of good humans. The way we say it is this: revenue feeds your potential, but profit feeds your family. That's why we focus on profit acceleration. But we want to disrupt hustle culture and get business owners back to the dinner table with their families. All that means is what's most important to them. But we came across the very real problem of time capacity. So if we want to make the impact that we're looking to make as a business, as a family, then we need people like you to champion the cause as well. So if you're here and you want to help business owners get back to the dinner table with their families while at the same time building time and financial freedom for your family, then click the application, find out if you qualify, and if you do, book the clarity call. But if you don't take action, this won't be for you. If you're not ready to collide with your own lies and excuses and challenge yourself to doing something different, then this is not for you. But if you think this is for you, apply now and we'll see you on the inside.